Hi guys, you're with Mel and you're here with the Oh Mel podcast, and I'm Mel, your host and founder of this podcast. And as I keep saying, the reason this podcast was formed is because people kept going, "Oh my gosh, oh Mel, I can't believe you went through that. Oh Mel, poor Mel. Oh, you okay, Mel? Oh Mel, never guess what." And that's how this podcast came, and that hasn't changed. I'm so glad that that's the name of it because it's simple and it stands for what made me start this podcast. Why people come in and say, "Oh Mel, you should do a podcast. Oh Mel, you need to preach. Oh Mel, you need to write a book. Oh Mel, oh Mel, oh Mel." So here we are on Oh Mel podcast, and I'm doing the Oh Mel podcast because of the listeners and the people that encouraged me. And I've just uploaded episode 26, and on episode 26, I called it "Set Apart: Why I Share What I Share." But when I was doing my description and looking at the description box, and I will read it because it made me actually think I need to go back and do part two of episode 6, "Why I Share What I Share, Set Apart." And I'll tell you why. I don't like to come across something and just leave it. Hence why going on this retreat, which was a getaway more of a getaway, was so important because I saw things, I heard things, I saw things in the spiritual realm with my gifts, and I had to just be quiet, and it was a stretching and teaching for me. But this is what I read after I wrote up my description for the OML podcast episode 26, "Set Apart: Why I Share What I Share." And in looking at this, I was like, it can come across a bit arrogant. And I was like, but I'm not an arrogant person. And I was a bit taken back by how I felt when I read something. And I just wanted to make sure no one else felt like this because I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to explain it. Sometimes you don't have to change it, things, you can just explain something. And I wrote on here that in this raw and heartfelt episode, I, Melinda, Reverend Mel, reflects on a recent retreat getaway where I unexpectedly found myself unable to speak, and that it reminded me that not every space is meant for my full story, and that what I carry is sacred, powerful, and set apart for God's purpose. That's it. That's what I want to look at. What I carry is sacred, powerful, and set apart for God's purpose. If anyone was on that retreat, including myself, I had to separate myself from this. And I was like, am I not good enough to hear what you're going through? Is it too sacred? Is it too powerful? Is it set apart only for God? Aren't we God's people? That's the first thing that went through my mind when I read my own description. So let's discuss that. That's how that these are the things that we should be discussing. Yes, we are God people, and there was a woman, group of women, mighty women, powerful women, that have come on this getaway that Echoes of Equilibrium has had arranged and provided. It was worth every bit of the money. It wasn't just a beautiful location; it was well thought of by the team at and the CEOs and the founders of Echoes of Equilibrium, Chanel and Babs. They thought of everything. They found a location that was in the country. It had a hot tub. It had large enough space, living rooms combined, dinner and dining space, a kitchen. They provided the food. They didn't just think about, here's your breakfast, here's your lunch, here's your evening meal. They thought about, oh, if the ladies want to eat something late at night and they get snackish, let's provide this. If they want to drink, let's provide these drinks. Let's think about the people that have got that don't eat dairy or drink dairy. So let's get the oat milk, like for myself. They brought the honey, they brought the teas, they brought the Prosecco because I don't drink alcohol, as well as the Pims. And they didn't, it wasn't all about alcohol and partying. It wasn't all about, oh, let's just pray, 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 pray. They stuck to their vision and what they've been called to do, and they didn't try and mimic or play like any other retreat. And because they were authentic, I was authentic as well, I believe. But however, the women that was there, they're sacred, they're powerful, they're set apart for God's purpose. However, when I read on my definition, and not definition, description of my episode on episode 26, it says that what I carry is sacred, powerful, and set apart for God's purpose. And I share about the tension between shame and testimony, embarrassment and anointing, pain and purpose. How I open up about what it means to be God's possession. I haven't got a problem with sharing, but I realise what I share can open up a lot of hurt and pain to other people. And yes, what I share is powerful because it shows the power of God to deliver, heal, and allow someone to be resilient. And it is set apart for God's purpose. And I believe sometimes not sharing it and reading the space in the Holy Spirit and what He's saying is also being part of God's purpose. And every single one of those women that I connected with, some of them knew me before they even met me because of my testimony. I believe they deserve the rest as well. And they deserve not hearing certain things in person, because it's a time for all of us to rest, and it was a time for them to speak and them to receive and for me to receive and for me to not speak. And I just want to clarify this because I didn't want anyone to feel how I just felt when I read it, like, oh my God, I'm not good enough. Is what's wrong with my space? No, the space was amazing and it needs to be read, and it's very important when we go somewhere that we read the space. I am a very verbal person. I ask the questions that no one else wants to ask. I speak about the elephant, the giraffe, the horse, and the caterpillars in the room. I speak about everything. So for me not to speak says a lot. Anyone knows me knows that I've got the gift of the gab, guys. I've got the gift of the gab. I can speak. Look, I'm sat here speaking to you all. And for me not to speak means it's what's meant to happen. And yeah, if you're listening and you want to discuss anything, please touch base. I'm also looking forward to doing my first podcast with I'm having a guest host with me, and I'm not going to say who it is. We're going to do it and we're going to launch it, but I'm so happy that someone is going to be on my podcast with me, and they were listening to me before they met me and have agreed to come on the podcast, the OML podcast. And I look forward to doing that in the next coming weeks. And I'm so excited because I've been wanting to have guests on my podcast. I'm not someone that just wants to keep this space to myself. No, I'm not. I actually want guests, and I actually want to have different people to discuss different things with me. And yeah, I'm just so happy someone agreed, and I'm looking forward to that. Um, yeah, but people, if you're listening, I've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. We've all been through things. Gosh, come on. Let's be real. Everyone's got a life. Everyone's had a story. Everyone's got a past. Some might be worse than others. Some might be triggering and not detrimental. But if we're here to tell the story and we made it, that's an amazing thing to celebrate. And I pray that you share what you need to share on your journey, that you start to speak up and share the little gems and nuggets and pearls of your life. The Bible talks about us being treasures of earthen vessel. So if we are earthen vessels and we were made from God, from the dust of the earth, or however He formed us, but it refers to us, then we've got treasure in us. And sometimes that treasure may not be what you think it is. It's not your what's it called? It's not your Gucci watch. It's not your Tiffany bracelet. It might be the pain that you've overcome, the traumatic experience that you've managed to survive. That is your treasure. How did you do it? That's your pearl. What got you through? What's your lessons? What's your takeaways? What's your knowledge? What's your experience that you can share with someone else? That is your treasure. And it should be shared. We go and read books about what people have overcome. We go and read what someone else has done. What about the book in you? What about what you've got? What about what you've overcome? Share what you need to share and know who you are and what you carry. See it as power, don't see it as shame. See it as a resilient tool to help somebody else, not yourself. Guys, this is just me jumping on quickly because I wanted to address that. And hopefully I've covered why I don't always share in every room, what it means to be God's personal possession and being used by Him on any platform, anywhere, about anything, and the sacredness of testimony. It's not for entertainment, but it's for evidence. And there's a balance between vulnerability and wisdom. I'm vulnerable, but I'm wise. I was vulnerable, but I'm wiser. And how my retreat was the getaway that Echoes of Equilibrium supplied and provided, and it definitely was a getaway. It was a rejuvenation of the soul, mind, and spirit, and it helped a lot of people. And I'm just so excited to be part of that, and will always remember and always be part of it. Hopefully, cohort number 4. But I just want to say that This is just me touching base to clarify something that was on my description. I don't want to change it. I want to explain it. And that's what I've done. And you are with Mel on the Oh Mel podcast. And I hope that you are well. And I hope that you're enjoying listening. Take care. And I'll speak to you soon. God bless you.